Good morning. We are having some technical difficulties that we're trying to iron out this morning because just too many things are running on our poor little computer here. Like, I'm not understanding. There's something on my computer going called. Okay, maybe it's kind of cutting down a little bit, but just if anybody's interested, we are running this show off of a 2016 MSI laptop. And while it does a great job, it's old. It's a little old. But it does its best. It works its little heart out. It keeps us moving. We've had a lot of frames rendering lag issues this morning, so hopefully as we sage, we'll clean that out, right? Internet's good. It's just our little, I think this is a 1060 GT, whatever it is, I forgot. GTX 1060, I think. So it's having a hard time. Poor little thing. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to you and your second half. I always like to say Happy Father's Day to all the dads, the moms that are dads, the sisters and brothers that have taken the role of dads, because it's all important. Rook is currently chasing out all of the negative energy in our house with our sage this morning. We just needed to cleanse.
It already feels better.
It really does. It's always immediate. I still need somebody to teach me how to properly dry herbs. I've taken videos, I've done YouTubes. I cannot figure it out how to do it right. They always end up getting so brittle. And I think Dragon had mentioned it has to do with keeping them like dampened somehow. I don't know. But I need to figure that out because we want to pull some local things, dry them, and make our own sticks so that we're not continually using sage. Even though I love sage, we do want to use local things and that are appropriate for our area. So, yeah, I definitely want to learn how to do that because I want to make my own sage sticks. Well, not sage sticks, but cleansing sticks. You know what I mean? You just got coffee all over your computer.
Oh my god. Not my nuts.
Well, you're gonna have to wait just a minute, my dear. But yeah, I want to do some local stuff, and we have a ton of sage in the house because we've had sage. And I know there's some sage. I need to check on something real quick. I'll be right back. What are you breaking? Alright, sorry about that. I had to step away for just a quick second because somebody's having some issues. Whoops. He saged the house, and I think the energy's trying to put him outside. But yeah, so we are. No, we're GP. Okay, so I think our computer is finally set down. Yeah, and I'm fine with time consuming, especially if I'm just doing it the right way. So maybe we can get a video together because we have videos that we've watched and they're just not helpful. Like they just haven't been helpful to me. I don't understand necessarily like what it's. Oh, I remember what I needed. I just don't understand necessarily what is needed, to make all that happen. as you can see, or hear, we kind of got up early. Or at least I did. We were up late last night, but I got up early and kind of put a whole bunch of things together, getting ready for the show, and then forgot that, like, oh God, it's time to start. So I'm a little bit behind setting everything up. But yes, Dragon, when the energy that needs cleansing is you, that is so absolutely true. Let me get our notes that I just did this morning. And calling the corners. Ma Petite, you can wait just a second, honey. All the dogs went up, and I have no laps for both of them. So yeah, we've got some good notes today. I found a couple of new resources today too that I'd like to see if we can get them to work. So that's exciting. I'm back to my creepy 80s White Bat audio music, so you guys check out White Bat audio. But we have a lot of good resources and topics today. We're continuing on our conversation yesterday of last night from Apocrypha. Oh, God.
Oh, sorry, Bubby. Come here.
I think he just hit his eye on my leg.
Come here. I can see you. Come here.
Poor buddy.
I'm sure Lucy.
These dogs are on it today, too. Maybe they're part of the
sorry.
energy that's getting thrown out.
I'm sorry, Bubba.
She won't let me hold her.
She like me.
She does when you're around. So, we are continuing our conversation from last night.
I'd like to go on that ride, in that car.
From Apocrypha. So that's kind of fun. And I think one of the things for me is I think we did talk pretty good last night about some specifics, but I feel like we have more to say.
Hey, ma petite.
Ma Petite's in heat, so she's a little pissy.
Don't show your ugliness to those people, okay? Be sweet.
She's being mean to everybody.
Everybody, even me.
Everybody. She's just in a bad mood.
Get her some Xanax. I know your cookie bothers you, honey.
Oh, she's our baby. I know, right? I guess we can go ahead and start if you want to call the corners to get going.
All right, I definitely needed that cleansing. It helped. It feels a little lighter already. Hear me, friends and ancestors from the east. Hear my voice carried on the air of clarity and truth. Watch over us as we cast our circle of safety and love.
See me, friends and ancestors from the south. See my flame of passion and creation seared into the energy of the universe. Watch over us as we cast our circle of limitless possibility.
Feel me, friends and ancestors from the west. Feel my love, fear, sadness, and joy, washed into the waters of the rivers of compassion. Watch over us as we cast our circle of connection and motion.
Reach me, friends and ancestors from the north. Reach my feet and hands, the earth in my toes, and the work of my fingers. Watch over us as we cast our circle of grounding and protection.
Know me, friends and ancestors from the ether. Know my intent, know my heart, and know my spirit. Watch over us as we ask you all to join us in perfect love and perfect trust.
Hear, see, feel, reach, and know that the circle is safe, the circle is sacred, and the circle is cast.
Good morning, be it so.
Finney's,
Good morning.
Finn.
Finney's a little baby and I love him so.
Finn, you don't have an excuse for being a jerk. Leave the cat
Ma
alone.
petite don't love him as much though. I do need a pouch for Draco for sure. Walk in. Yeah, I gotta find a Draco pouch.
The dog is something else. All right. Hello, everybody.
I love, real quick, our new downtown Kava shirts. I feel like I've been transported back to Miami Vice, 1985, 6, and 7. with hot pink colors.
I love it.
Hot pink sunglasses, hot pink
Yep.
tennis shoes.
It's very Miami Vice.
Yes, and I miss it. And it is such a awesome business. If you're ever in Florida, check out downtown Cava and Punta Gorda. It's just great prices, great group of people, the owners included, and awesome drinks. I think it's true what they say: awesome drinks, awesome vibes, awesome place. But right now, I'm digging the design on the shirt.
Sorry about the moving camera, just reorganizing a few things.
In fact, this is a new tattoo I think I'll get. Just kidding.
I wouldn't doubt it. For you. What in the world is that?
Is it Vici?
No, Vici's right here.
Who is that doing these noises?
It's one of these things. It's one of those days.
Who is that?
And I'm sorry, I'm getting up a couple of resources. What is that noise? Ooh, it's one of those days. Oh, he probably okay. We gotta get the fur some food too. But this is just gonna be one of these days, I think. And that's just what it's gonna be. I'm gonna switch this to Edge. Yeah, we've had to reset some things and get our all of our stuff working the way we want it to. Because the whatchamacallit just isn't all that great. The what do we call this thing? What is this thing called? I forgot. OBS. It's getting a little flunky lately. Like it's not as good as it used to be, and it's not doing things as good as it used to do. So there's all that. I know. It is time for more tattoos. But it, what are you doing now? Y'all?
Felt called to bang like a drum on the pitcher while I filled the ferret's water.
Okay. That's kind of scary. Oh, my leg is sore.
10 minutes to go for this. Oh, I feel ya. No, I gotta start saving up for my next tattoo.
My petite, I swear, these dogs, I love them, but man, they do zap some energy.
They're worrisome.
I cannot hold you in my lap comfortably, honey. I'm sorry. I don't know if he can, but if not, you're gonna have to go in the back.
Come on, petite. We'll see as long as we can, won't we, petite? Don't show your cookie.
So I'm gonna start with a couple of things. I wanted to show these two crystals that I'm bringing today. These two little things that I have. This is really hard to see, but it's a nice little chunk of copper. I like a lot of the raw metals and stones. Really cool. So galena a metal, but copper I'm pulled out today because in just a few days we're gonna be upon Litha, midsummer.
I need some more copper.
The summer solstice. I have a copper ball somewhere. Oh, it's up there.
I want a big one. Remind me to check if that Altered Elements is still open since I'm in Naples.
Yeah, we should, because I want to go there again.
I really want a big copper. Yeah, I never have enough copper or pyrite for me.
And so copper, to me, is a very good summer and fire vibe. It is a powerful metal. It is conductive. It is super conductive. And it is able to really provide energy and just whatever you want to keep things hot and fiery and going. So if you need a pick-me-up, you need things to move forward, copper's your element, especially if you like metal. The other one I brought is the Sphere of Citrine, which you also see right here. So this is my citrine.
It's a pretty copper.
The citrine sphere.
And copper is in blood, right? You said that already?
Yes.
feel connected to it.
So citrine is a very summery stone also. Obviously, it's yellow, looks like the sun, so anything that represents the sun. But citrine is really good at being like forward moving and kind of fiery, and that whole energy of getting things done and just things falling into place and going. So that's two of the uses of citrine and copper that I have. I see a piece of carnelian here that I didn't grab it. Carnelian is also a really great summer stone. Little carnelian. Morning, Ziggy. So that's kind of where, crystal-wise, you know, some of the things that I really find enjoyment in for the summer. There's a lot of other stones that you can use for litha, and for what we're talking about today is also why I pulled them, because our topic is a continuation of Apocrypha today, deeper into pagan discrimination. And we'll get to that in a moment, but you know, both citrine and copper and bumblebee jasper, one of my other favorites, are really good at having around. Like when I have hard discussions to do, or I'm feeling low energy, or something I don't want to do but I have no choice, generally I will use bumblebee jasper or citrine or copper or carnelian to kind of carry with me, and I'll put it in my pocket and I'll pull it out and look at it like, okay, I'm strong enough to do this. I've got all the energy, and it's just that reminder of that fire that we have to make things go. And that's where I feel really comfortable about our stones here. It's one of the things I enjoy about them. Any thoughts on citrine, copper, or carnelian?
Not necessarily, but I do have a thought. Because I work in 2 buildings now, I would like to set up not a grid, but maybe crystal connections that connect.
Why not a grid?
Or, I mean, it could be a grid, but I need both places connected and flowing.
I love
my synergy, because it's really kind of disjointed now, and one building's on its own thing and others on its other, and I feel like it running back and forth. I wonder what kind of, could it be a crystal plate? Would I put the same ones in each one or different ones in each office? You think?
It would be, we can talk about that. There's more to it than that.
Yeah. Good morning, Ziggy and Dragon and James, and that's what I see.
I'm just adding some notes because crystals and crystal grids will be a topic we should use. We need to make a crystal grid right now. So I like to set crystal grids up. My problem is I don't leave them up for long. And what's really cool about crystal grids that I like to do is I like to mimic them in different places. So crystal grids are a way of laying out crystals with certain energies and kind of making them flow in a way that really connects energies across large distances. And so I make one at home, and then I take a little mini case of like microcrystals with me, and I make another image of it when I'm out. So like when we had the big crystal one on the end of our table here, which is we'll have to clear off, that was really, really powerful to me. But then I took a picture of it, and then when I go out into the hotels and I'm out traveling, I'll make my own mini version of it that looks similar. And then I just kind of feel like they're connected in 2 places. It's a lot like sigil work for me, but the difference with sigils and crystals is sigils are like DSL, direct service, think right to it. And crystal grids are more like radio frequency cell phone calls. They connect large swaths of areas. So that's just my kind of idea on that. I really want to get into doing that more and more of that kind of stuff too, but work has taken a lot of time. One of the big things that I have to do is I know I'm working through Quantum Healing Facilitator, and I don't think Tabati's in here yet, but I am doing free quantum healing facilitating guides. It does take me about a week or 2 to do them because it's a lot of work on my end. So once I ask, there's certain questions you have to answer, and once I get the answer to those questions, I've got to go through each one. I've got to do some meditations. I've got to do some thought processes actually I use my stones for that, and chakras, and it asks me, I have to organize things in a certain way, and then I have to reorganize them in a better way. And so it takes a lot of time on my end to do it. So it's not something you would do like in a session. once I get all the information, and I then can put it all together and then do some transformations with it, and then you'll get some feedback for it. But I'm working on that, so I'm excited. And that's really the biggest thing that's going on for me. That and work. I want a work project that's literally going to take me probably 15 hours a day for the next few weeks.
That's a pretty... Sounds involved.
It is, well, it is involved, but it's very remedial. Unfortunately, it's mindless work. Yeah.
You see, you work.
It's mindless work. It's data entry basically, and it's just we have to do it because we have to do it, and I'm upset about it because our department is so small. We went from originally, and we don't need it. We originally had 227 individuals in our department. We have 7 now. Granted, we have a lot less workload, but it's still a big. Now we're having to do so many different things. Like I have to do my own intranet designing, and I'm a nurse. Like I write all of our policies. I write all of our guidelines. I do, all of our nursing clinical education development, all that stuff. And now I have to do data entry and all this other stuff, which I'm not complaining. I'm gainfully employed. They pay me well, but it's just going to be a heavy load for the next couple weeks. So I'm going to shut up for a minute. We're going to talk about reading and what we're like reading and learning. But I'm going to hand it over to Rook to start. And then if you guys are like learning or doing anything specific, I'd love.
Tell us about some good books.
Yeah, I'd love
classes,
to hear what you're doing, what you're reading, what's going on for you. Turn that down just a hair.
Alrighty, so the first book that I am working on is Exploring the World of Lucid Dreaming by Stephen LaBerge, PhD, and Howard Rheingold. And it's very interesting. It's more of an academic type book, scientific book, not magical, and I wanted that on purpose. It's very interesting so far. It's talking about the basics of the sleep cycle, which I did not know. That we go through a sleep cycle like 10 to 12 times. Basically, we wake up 10 to 12 times a night. We don't remember it. And that has nothing to do with like with sleep apnea or anything like that. It's the
normal cycle.
It's a normal cycle. So I'm in the section now where it's telling about lucid dreaming, the sleep cycle,
mystical smoke,
how to prepare yourself for lucid dreams. So it's very interesting. It's not what's the word, like an invigorating type fast-paced book, but it's really good, and I'm excited to get through that. I'm also reading by my former CEO of my current company, who is now passed. Oh, you can't see the title.
Yeah, just leave it and talk.
The Road to Self by John Goodman. Now, this book, it's probably about 122 pages. And let me just start by my new place of employment, which is 3 campuses. I work in 2. Very strange, but welcoming to me. When you walk into the doors of one building, there's 2 large amethyst geodes on either side of the entryway, which I was like, that's really neat to me, but I wonder what it has to do with the healthcare place. And then in the other building, in the on one of the hallways, there is another large amethyst geode. So they've got some earthy and environmental stuff, and now I think I'm starting to see why, because the former CEO, he talks about in this book that we are stewards of the earth. Actually, it was in my orientation, but it's also in this book. We are stewards of the earth. We are here to serve the earth and each other. And the full title of the book is The Road to Self, Reflections from a Soulful CEO. And he really, so far into it, he mentions the energy, the environment, listening to gut and intuition. It's a really good book. And the purpose of it is how to apply, lessons learned into business and into life. And it's really good. Like when it starts talking about positive energy and all this stuff, I'm like, I'm vibing with this. So
that's interesting that there's a forward or a comment on the front from Lee Iacocca. I don't remember because it's been so long, but Lee Iacocca is a CEO and president of multiple different car companies. I think Ford for the longest time. And there are books after books after books written by that man or on him. I don't know if they're by him, but on him about being a CEO and about being something. So to have him say that on the book like this, makes me want to learn a little bit more about Lee Iacocca and see what he does.
It really does. And it comes down to basic stuff. It's like your outlook, your energy, your attitude. Like here, there was a business and then a personal example. One, a business fell through something the deal, and instead of like storm through like this man normally would, he said, "Okay, I'm going to listen and not go try to force this through." And later, it worked out way better. Also, like with a personal, like with a muffler, something told him, it's like, "Oh, I need to get off here," and he pulled over to a gas station. His muffler was hanging off, and it's like, just listening to your gut and intuition. It is so good. I am fascinated. I am just everybody that comes into my building is like, "Have you read so and so's book?" Because in the lobby, I was like, "No, but I'm reading it," and it's just, I just feel in so many ways connected to this company and the leadership. And I do want to say, we have to just say something about the assassinations yesterday in Minnesota. My company's headquarters is in Minnesota, and it's just unbelievable and sad. It was Representative Hortman and Senator, I don't want to mispronounce the names.
Yeah, I forgot.
But anyway, it's just horrible. But those are what I'm currently reading, and I will update on that. I may buy this book for everybody I know. What I'm lining up in the queue are a couple of things. I believe this is the one I purchased, correct? The third one? They're both of ours, but Wisdom of Souls, and talks about, is it life after death, in between bodies?
Even though we told you they need to be read in order, but...
Oh, they do?
Multiple times.
Well, if they absolutely need to be read in order.
Multiple times.
I'll read in order. I didn't take it that way, but I will. I'll read yours. So you'll be reading this first.
We're going to have to keep going. My work phone's ringing.
Wisdom of Souls. Sorry, it is by Michael Newton. Wrote the other two books as well as others, and it's about in between lives and how the souls, what happens with the souls, supposedly life after death. And then the next book I'm lining up, I like to have a couple. I don't know if you can see it. It is Bread of Water, Wine and Oil. It's an Orthodox Christian experience of God. This was recommended to me by Mark V, who comes into the Apocrypha chat once in a while. Just an awesome human being who is, I believe, Eastern Christian type of focus or ideology. And I've had this for 2 years since he recommended it, so I'm going to read it and hopefully learn something. Excuse me. Let's see if I can get over to our notes here. Is anybody reading anything good? Let's see. Dragon Brain Power to read lately, but I've been watching a lot of documentaries. Oh, history, philosophy, quantum physics, and other things. Oh, yeah, you and Mystic have got a chat. Hello again, it's the Jockster. Hey, Jockster. Welcome in, Morgantorium. I hope I don't disconnect something. I am trying to find where we have put our notes here. Ooh, I think this is it, guys. Nope. Here we go. So can I get on here? I can't click it. All right. Well, we will go into, sorry for my mumbling, into the cycles, the will of the year. Summer solstice is coming up, and midsummer or Letha on June 21st. The Druids refer to this as Alban Heffen. Letha means gentle or navigable, speaking to the soft breezes for smooth sailing. Alban Heffen speaks to the sun at its greatest strength on this holiday, marking a turning point towards the decline as the world turns. A sunrise and sunset and nature meditation. So the longest day. that's coming up. What is today? Today is the 15th. So what, a week? About a week? So I really want to think about what are some things to do in honor. You got to go a call for the longest day. Maybe time to retire some things as we move forward. Excuse me. All right, and I'm trying to bring up some stuff. For some things for summer solstice, could we consider an herbal tea with lemon, mints, chamomile, hibiscus, lemongrass, and ginger to celebrate the summer and refresh? Let me get back over here to the chat part. I'm going to ignore people. Ooh, have to work on midsummer. I am sure. Let's see what day that is. If it's during the week, I will be. It is on. What's that, Dragon? Oh, a Saturday, right? Next Saturday. Sure seems like it's come up really quickly. You know, in summer here, everything is so bright and vivid. Being here is Florida. I remember anytime I go home to Virginia or Texas or anywhere, the first thing I notice when I get back here is how bright and vibrant things are. And for me, even though we don't really have noticeable seasons, during the fall, I can definitely see a change in the hue, color, and tone of the colors. You know, things seem more like an orange or more muted color to me. I don't know if anybody that has or is living in Florida thinks that as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, fast and slow. We're basically like at literally the middle of the year coming up, huh?
I've got a few minutes, but then I'm gonna have to go because I have a trigger call.
I was just talking through the summer solstice album Heffen, and we were, after you say whatever you want to about that, we'd be on the lunar.
Well, before that, I'd like to share what I'm reading and what I'm doing.
Okay. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't let him fool you. He does love me too.
Get that out
act
of
like he doesn't.
Camera way. He's been going on. I bet you he didn't change the cameras back, did he? Nope.
Oh, I don't know how. You had to teach me how to do that.
No.
See, I left it for you. It was meant to be. Thank you very much.
This book, I have been reading for like 2 years, 3 years almost. It's The Empowerment Manual by Starhawk. It's a really great book. It is a long read with a lot of stuff in it, and I just have decided to pick it back up because I am close to finishing. It has been very helpful for the ideas of, you know, how to get a group of people like in a commune to work together when there's discourse. It's phenomenal. It is rooted in psychology and sociology with the occult overtone. It's by Starhawk. If you don't know, Starhawk's an amazing author. Has been around forever. But I highly, 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 highly recommend this book if you're somebody that's interested in being in a commune or a group or a setting where you're going to rely on other people for sustenance. It's just a really, really good book to read. I have like 2 or 3 copies of it because I do feel like it's such a good book. So that's one. And then The Astral Plane is the other book that I'm reading. And so The Astral Plane, this is from, or by C.W. Leadbeater. But one of the, if you think back, this is one of the minds of Theosophy, you know, like Blavatsky and all that. So this is part of my course that I'm currently taking on advanced mysticism and occult at Thomas Francis.
Oh, awesome.
So this is one of the like 8 books you have to read and study and report on to get through that class. Good book. You know, it's very much based on, I think, Buddhism and lots of, you know, things that I don't necessarily understand that I'm going to have to read more on, like the difference between the astral, the devashanic, the sushuptic, and the nirvanic planes. So I'm kind of learning through that stuff. It's a bit much, but it's hard. So those are the 2 main books that I've been reading on. I'm also reading The Journey of Souls, which is the first book by Newton, which is also really good, but I had too many going on, so I narrowed it down to just 2 until I get them done, and then we're going to add 2. I recently completed a dream interpretation book that's part of that same class, so that was really cool.
And this one was not from school. This is from a person, like a friend recommended this series, right?
Yes.
Not the school.
Yes, Jeremy recommended that one. So from that, and sorry to whiplash you guys back and forth because we went into the topic, so we'll kind of go back.
I love the smell books. Yes, I sniffed it.
But I wanted to share those because the astral plane, I would recommend it, but it is written like in that sentence structure. Instead of saying the book is white, the thing that you readeth is behind the other thing that has no color of the opposite of black. Instead of just saying the book's white. So that's one of those things. So with that, we can hop back into our discussion. I know, Dragon, absolutely. I think that's a good way to put it. If you ever have to interact with people, Starhawk's Empowerment Manual is one to read and reference. There are so many exercises in there to kind of grow people together, and they're easy. They're doable. It's really nice. So again, highly recommend that one. And then, of course, I'm in the class, the TFU class that I'm working through that's been keeping me pretty busy. I cannot clear my throat again. Sorry, this is going to be an ongoing thing.
Ooh, what's Gianna? I'm trying to read from the library. If anyone has books, oh, cool. I would take them as well as recommendation, right? Yeah. It's herbs and teas. Okay.
Oh, we have.
Look, my dear.
We have some books to recommend for you. Let me tell you, we probably got 10 or 15 about herbalism.
And some were recommended by, was it B?
You should come over sometime and look at our bookshelf.
Out,
we have a bunch back here. We have even more. The big one is the Encyclopedia of Natural Medicine. And I actually have another one I'm getting ready to read now. Sorry, guys, can't clear my throat.
Let me clear my throat.
All right. So I have 11:30. So we got time, but I have to cut at 11:15 to prepare for our work
like
call.
11 maybe.
Yeah. Told you guys work's going to be crazy for a while. But yes, tons of herbalism books. A lot of them are references. Some of them are reads. And then I highly recommend Mrs. JC that you consider. It's $30 a year, I think. The app called Picture This. I use it. I've been using it for years. I love it. You take it outside and you take a picture of almost anything natural. Like, it's the right one. Yeah, picture this. Little picture this. Little picture of a plant. Like a flower on it. And it is really good. And then there's one for rocks called the Rock Identifier. Looks like we skipped out for just a second. Sorry about that. That's our daily cut. Sorry. So picture this if that got cut out, because I know our internet dropped for a quick second.
Excuse me. Thinking about books, it is great to have a library. I love it and it's beautiful, but I have a really problem that I'm not blaming anybody but myself about getting a lot of books, and I can be reading 5 books and go on Amazon and get more books and more books, which is not a bad thing, but I have to put them out of my immediate and consistent view. So I had a lot of my books in a room that I went into all the time, and I had to move them and cover them on a different shelf to help with my focus and my jumpedness, so that I can start and finish one. I don't think it's bad to have a couple going, but like I would literally start like 10 books and not finish them on, y'all. So it helped me. I love to have them, to be able to see them, but in the immediate, normal, frequented places, I have to have only what I'm really doing and to cover the rest. I don't want to put them in storage. That's what my therapist told me to do. I don't want to put them in storage, but we have put them in a different area that is covered, or where I don't see them all the time. That's helped. Sorry, I was just talking what you about.
I like them to be visible, like really much so.
It overwhelms me.
I like seeing them organized because it makes me feel like I have things that are comforting to me. That's why I want more bookshelves all over the house. I want books everywhere.
Ooh,
Yes,
Google Lens? What is that?
Google Lens is really good, and it's very accurate too, surprisingly. The one thing that I don't like about Google Lens is it doesn't let you store things like Picture This does. Like you can build different gardens. Like you can have a backyard garden, you can have the side garden. So there's lots of different. So, oh yeah.
Oh. Surprisingly good Google Lens.
Yeah. So,
Sorry, I blacked out there for a minute.
what did you talk about here? You went through all this already?
Yeah, except got down to the tea, considered herbal tea with lemon, mint, chamomile. I didn't go into any detail in them. If there's any discussion on them, I did talk about how, where we are in Florida, the colors seem so vivid and bright. Like if I go home or we go to Virginia or Texas or anywhere and come back, the first thing, and you travel almost every week, I notice is how bright everything seems.
I can see that.
And then I also spoke on the, even though we don't have really significantly changing seasons in the fall, I see a total difference in the color, brightness, vividness of things. Like things look like a more muted yellow to orange versus the bright white
Interesting
type of thing. That's kind of
you talked about that before.
Yeah, and that's my notion. That's my feeling or observation.
So I do have some things I wanted to share, some references, but we're going to come back to that because I'm going to run out of time. I'm going to have to be done in 30 minutes. So you'll have to do the tarot. But
we can probably be done. Yeah.
The next full moon is not until July 10th. We just had our full moon, so that's been moved through. So some exciting energy there. Hope you guys enjoyed some time with that full moon. The next new moon, though, is June 25th, so that's coming up. The next new moon will be in Cancer, which is a cardinal and water sign. About 10 days. Remember, the day before, we're going to have our meeting. The Mending Guild. So if you have anything that you'd like us to say there, no matter what it is, it can be physical, mental, personal, someone else, an animal, whatever, where you feel like you need some healing energy sent, make sure you post in the Mending Guild and go through it and document or put in there where you want or where you think you need healing or whatever it is that you want us to bring up. Whether you're physically there on the 24th or not, it doesn't matter. We will read through all of the Healing Guild items and send our energy out that group together. And we're working on developing a chant for that group to kind of, do as part of the process. That's still in place, but regardless, we'll send some energy out, even if you're not physically there.
And I don't know how, speaking of that, like one thing I liked that we did in a former group or healing thing is sometimes it was like the short guided meditation to ground center and a story, but regardless, I kind of like even a short, like a journey, a healing journey, like a story, guided meditation to take us through to where we get to healing. And if anybody that participates, has a particular mending request and something they'd like to share that works as far as opening with that, I think that would be cool. Like to open
that's the plan
process.
Yeah, we should do that. General healing part of the guild. Well, we do have God, I cannot talk today. We do have we will start off every time with general healing for those that can't ask and for those that are afraid to ask and those that just are left unsaid. But as a grid for the world, if there's something specific about that, I'd love to engage that further for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. But the way we'll plan on starting off is the kind of a general healing discussion. Like, here's what we're thinking. Here's what we're going to do. I think we'll also initiate with a discussion on, like I said, those those that have asked for healing, those that can't ask, those that don't know they need it to ask, and those that are unable to ask for themselves, and just a general healing for the world itself and the earth and especially the U.S. the way things are going, at least for me or for us. Those are all things that we need to do. But if there's something specific you've got in there, I'd love to talk through that. That would be cool. So now we can move into our topic.
Yeah.
So we wanted to continue last night's topic, which was really discrimination from a left-hand path in discrimination. We want to focus really on just a pagan in general, like Christian to pagan discrimination, but pagan, and then personal versus workplace, like things that have happened in different situations.
Yeah, it was surprising me is the pagan to pagan one. Really, like how they can tear each other down. It's like, well, isn't that why we're pagan? We didn't want to go to a structured or organized place telling us this is the way it is and there's no other way and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, I know last week, so something that happened to me directly at work is I got a call from, actually a text from my director of nursing. And now keep in mind, I'm over or supervise like 90 people at work, okay? So the intent with which this was done was not like a good intent or a positive intent. So my DON sends me a text and says, hey, call me as soon as possible. I'm thinking, oh God, okay. So what's going on? I wrap up what I'm doing and call her. I'm thinking, did somebody fall? Did the state walk in? What's going on? And she tells me, she goes, Brad, you need to take down your Facebook immediately. Someone sent an AI generated photo, or it looks AI generated, of you like in Satanism with blood on your face and upside down crosses, and they're sharing it with a couple members of the management team. Like, really? I was like, well, that's disappointing. As near as I can tell, I haven't met this person. Allegedly, it was someone that worked where I'm working now prior, so they don't know me. And why are they sending it to managers on my team? Well, it wasn't any good. So I just responded. I said, well, that's religious discrimination, and we don't tolerate that here with this company. But really, I was just in shock. It really took me by surprise. I was definitely not expecting that, especially not in a new place, but it's there. I mean, like, has anybody experienced anything like that? Like discrimination with beliefs or on what you don't believe, like in the workplace? Because it really shouldn't be discussed. And what people don't realize, you could take legal action or other, like disciplinary action on that. I know you have before at work, a couple years ago, was it?
Yes.
Similar.
If I can't clear my throat again, I'm gonna step off and let you finish. This is starting to hurt my throat to talk.
Okay, no, I can.
I don't know why I can't clear my throat. I don't know if my allergies or what, or if the sage is kicking me out now. I don't know.
Maybe.
Doesn't usually. But yeah, a couple of years ago, I would say 3 years ago ish, I had our CEO actually now, or CEO, whatever, one of our higher ups, called me to let me know that there was a nurse, one of my staff members, a registered nurse, that was talking to other people. Like, can you believe Brian's pagan? He thinks he's a witch. All this stuff. We're a Christian company, blah, blah, blah. And it was a big deal. It was really crazy, like, and very frustrating. But I'm glad they told me, and I confronted it immediately. I said, you know what? You can say whatever you want. You can even take your personal time to go on that Facebook or whatever you saw and attack me all you want. You don't bring it to work.
Yeah.
And she stopped, but she also got divested, laid off. So that is just very frustrating. Like, it has no place in work. There's no reason for that. It should not be part of a discussion. It's nobody's business. And it's a lot of it's based on the preconceived notions of what they think paganism is and all that stuff. So that's what really frustrates me, is that judgment of what's not really there, and then having somebody come to me and say it, and taking my personal information and my personal life and using it against me in that way is very frustrating. Very frustrating. And it came off of the whole you think you're a witch thing, and it was from Twitch, I believe, at the time, because I was on Twitch then, and they were seeing like doing tarot and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I do tarot. I was in a building at one of the new buildings that I'm working on now, and they're like, oh, you do tarot? Because I have a sticker on the front of my notebook. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, me too.
Oh, that's
so like that was nice, but it's so irritating. I don't care if people ask questions about it. Say, hey, that's weird. Can you tell me a little bit about it? I'm interested to know. Like, sure, after work we can go to dinner and I can talk about it, but not at work. You can say whatever you want, but I will guarantee you, if something happens to me and I feel like it's based off of me being pagan, I will not rest until it's fought. Thankfully, even though I think everybody I work with is Christian, like they're like, we don't give a shit about what you do as long as you do a good job and take care of residents. So that part's nice.
I had about 4 months ago another employee that ended up terminating, and afterwards she sent me a text and said, "You're ridiculous. I've never met anybody that thought they were a wizard." Shake my head. No, I didn't try to hex her, but it's just
probably
funny.
Should.
I probably should. I'm not against that. I'm all about treating people right, but first or second time might be a mistake. But if somebody is doing something to you or somebody that you love 3 times, game on. Shield yourself with protective energy and return that shit to sender.
Yeah, rubber it back.
Times 10. I'm all for that.
And Kelvin, that's, I think we've mentioned this before. That's my line of business. And people can get very judgy. So you're probably, unfortunately, correct not to tell anybody about your LHP stuff, because that's just the way people react is terrible. And it shouldn't be that way, but it is. And dealing with it is not something you want to do while you're not at your healthiest state. Right?
Box or a jar, I love it.
Oh yeah. Oh, we can do some box magic.
Oh yeah.
And
probably need to practice.
We should.
So
pick a couple of people and just practice. I like rubber bands or rubber ball stuff. So I get my little glass jar out. I'll put I have broken glass actually saved over there just for this purpose.
Okay. I got rubber balls, back of them.
Then safety pins and things like that, and I put them all in the jar together. And every time somebody says something to me, their energy bounces right into that glass and it cuts them. I'm not wishing you harm.
No.
I'm wishing you to get what you're giving in a way that you will understand it.
Yep,
and if that means to hurt you, then it's going to hurt you if that's what will make you change. Because your name comes out of my mouth. I've done tongue bindings are fun.
Oh, I retaliate. I tell people, of course, everybody retaliates. If you do it the wrong, treat people bad enough.
I don't retaliate. I don't like to retaliate because I think it just makes my energy darker. But I like to bounce it back.
You respond?
I respond. For sure.
That's a better way to put it. Oh yeah, you do. JC, you for sure do. You for sure do. That's why I have not contacted you, because I want to be really sure before. Yep. I got some nosy nurses in the past, and some are scared.
I mean, I'm a nurse, but I love, many nurses are great, but man, some of them just should not be doing it. They just really shouldn't.
I think they have a lot of psych cases as nurses, truly.
I've definitely had more Christian discrimination against being pagan, but the pagan to pagan hurts more.
Yeah. Like when they're saying like you're,
and most of it is kind of what Addie has said last night, right? About it is, in my experience, it's mostly Wiccan people saying like it has to be this way.
Oh, Wiccan?
Yeah. It's not so much discrimination though. That's more of almost gatekeeping. So maybe it's not discrimination to call it. So I don't want to throw one group under the bus. But that one does really bother me.
They do remind me as a group, as a whole, in general, Wiccans is to their belief is to a certain, path, structure, process, beliefs, systems that could probably come off at times,
Yep.
like that whole whatever is in harm none. I'm like you, I don't believe in that either. Oh yeah, if you're harming somebody else, I will do things to harm you.
I believe in harm you none, do as ye will, as the base.
Yeah.
I'm not going to harm anybody. Right. I'm going to do what I want as long as it doesn't harm anybody. If you cross me, that base goes up to the next level. And I mean, you have to cross me. Like, people say shit, and I'm like, I've gotten in my as I get older, I care way less than I used to. I'll see stuff and I'll start writing a post back to me like, I just really don't care, and I delete it. Like, I really just don't care.
Same.
And I'm just not going to engage with those people in the way that I used to. And they're gonna be like, well, you pulled back. Sure did. That's magic right there. No is a full sentence.
There's a lot of power in that too.
Mm-hmm. And you reclaim a lot of it. If you going out and retaliating on every little thing, you're going to run out of energy.
You have to really think, is this really worth my energy and time and thought? And really the time in my day to take up on this, or do I want to move on? And they're insignificant. That's
a really great point, Dragon. A lot of pagan on pagan discriminations based on Christian hang-ups. I think that's why I don't want to denigrate Wiccan, because I think it's a good religion. I think people who follow it are great. I don't see it as a stepping stone to other religions like some people say. I think that does it a disservice.
I don't either.
But I can see why it's easier for people to engage, because it does share Christian pinnings of a structure.
And the goodness factor, right? Mm-hmm. You feel good. You could feel good if you were a former Christian and getting out of that. I think Wiccan is a very valid for anybody, but that's a very comfortable place to land.
But you also have to grow within that too. Just like anything else. You might grow in Christian, in Wiccanism further. Or like me, you might grow, because I think a lot of things I think are very Wiccan based. Mm-hmm. Think of the turn of the year, that came from my Wicca training. That stuff is there for a reason. Deity information, a lot of that came from Wiccan training. But as I moved away from Wiccan because of its structure,
rigidity,
I feel the lack of the structure as a problem sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's why I use paganism for myself, because it's a broader term, and the difference between a Wiccan and a pagan is that, to me, a Wiccan is a pagan, but not all pagans are Wiccan, number one. Number two, a Wiccan, to me, has a very big structure. A pagan does not. Like, it just is a different thing for me, but I think it's fair.
It's kind of why I still like the term witch, because it just, or pagan.
I do too.
Because a witch can be a non-pagan too.
I don't think I've ever had any personal discrimination that I'm aware of. It's always been work related. In my personal life, when people find out I'm pagan, they're like, oh. And they're generally inquisitive, but I think that's because of the people we surround ourselves with.
Yeah. Like, who was it? Oh, the two new people we were met at the Kava bar, and they just asked us, so are you, what they say, are you spiritual?
Religious.
Religious?
And I hung up for a minute. I almost didn't want to say it, because you don't know how people are going to react, but I ended up saying it. Well, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
If I had to pull tarot cards for discrimination or for needing help working through things, the first three I thought of were justice, obvious reasons, because I think discrimination is a disservice to justice. Temperance, which is our response to be tempered in those that are less or that are more ignorant. So somebody that comes at me and is discriminatory against me because I'm pagan, I'm sure they're discriminating other people for other reasons. It's not just me, it's them. And temperance helps me think of, how do I temper my response and bring out a positive endpoint? So if I react to somebody like that, they're going to have a negative impact. But if I temper and say, you know what? I'm so sorry you feel that way, that you think that I'm crazy. I appreciate that you have your opinion. There's obviously no need for us to continue a conversation. If you ever have any questions or want to learn more, please let me know. How does that, as a transformative response, give energy back? Now, if they still respond or do shit to me, that's when you're getting your hex. That's when curse comes out.
Couple I think of too with that are the Hanged Man is a reminder for us to, kind of like what Gina's saying, the Hanged Man is a remembrance to consider where are these people coming from before you respond, in what way, so we don't shut them down or end the conversation. The hangman and the hermit like to really be like, okay, look at, no, this is what I believe, and why would I'm not changing that.
Yeah.
But as the hanged man, I see where they could be coming from. And in the humanism factor, we're not going to we're going to temper, or we're going to be kind or appropriate in our response.
Yeah. And my last one was the devil, because the devil often represents what's holding us back. So for them, I try to think of it as like, what's happened in your life to make you be and feel this way that you've lost. And I feel pity for that person. Mm-hmm. So, and Gene is absolutely correct. Yep. It's lumping all Christians as the same. We do it too. And that is never okay.
It is not okay, because like I said, that book I got, Mark 5, is I would talk to them over, in a lot of cases, other pagans, and I wouldn't talk to them about other things. There's one in the Apocrypha chat that comes in that, I don't know if she still does, but she identified as a Christian, which I think that is absolutely valid, despite being told in so many words or without saying that that's not a valid path. In the past, I don't think that's the stance now, but I think it's very valid.
Well, I don't think that stance has changed. But
okay.
But the difference is, I don't know. There's a reason. We won't get into that, but I have opinions on that aren't fair without that person present.
But that's right, though. Just like we shouldn't group everybody in any group all the same, I think. And Christians we're talking about now. So.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, I really like what you had mentioned one day about Deb Kellerman, that she said, regarding, don't, and it's hard for, like, my hatred, I shouldn't say hatred, but it is, my disdain of Christianity is not from a pagan perspective, it's from a gay perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not the same. So as a pagan, I do try hard to think and respect my Christian roots, because there are good things that came out of it. I did learn things that, that were positive. There are things in it that I did well with, but it's being gay that really caused the problem with the Christianity and what started that separation, not the paganism. So my perspective is probably a little different from somebody else who's pagan because of what the church did. I'm pagan because I'm pagan. I don't like the church because of how I was treated as a coming out kid at 11 or 12 years old. But I have friends who are Christian, which remind me that people are people individually, not as a group. And that is why it is so important for us to do better when we're having the conversations. And I need to stop saying that. I need to stop saying, like, even in my show notes, I have Christian versus pagans.
Yeah.
I need to take that out. That's not really fair. So we can all do better at some point. That's going to be my do better for now. I need to change that. So... deities. I had a couple of deities. I didn't know what you guys thought about deities as far as who can you call to. I obviously want to say the Green Man, Pan, Carnuna's Hern, the Woodwoes, and what have you. But the Green Man is all about grounding and connection and your raw primal instincts. We do have primal instincts, I think, of grouping of people together and stereotyping. And I think those two things are okay. I think it's okay to group people and to stereotype for information purposes,
but not to
to assign a behavior to that group,
or to attack them, or to,
for example,
or negative.
Yeah, like stereotypically, Christians go to church on Sunday and they do a specific thing, or pagans don't go to church and they do a specific thing in the woods. They dance around the hinges. That's, I think, an okay stereotype because it helps us learn. We stereotype information, we group information all the time, and we need to. My same conversation about labels. Oh, we hate labels. Yeah, labels are bad when they're used negatively, but labels are good when they help you identify a group of people. I like being labeled gay because it helps me and get and find other gay people, right? That there's reasons we have that, but humans turn them into negatives, and that's where the problem is. So the Green Man kind of helps remind me, once I am reminded that my feet touch the ground like anybody else's, my energy is in the world like anybody else's, it kind of puts us on a level playing field and is a good reminder that I'm not perfect. So people who are against me are also not perfect, and they're gonna have to answer to their own deity one day. And if their deity is God, then I think that's true for them, and that's what they're gonna see at the pearly gates, and they are going to be flabbergasted at their need to return to the soul and repeat their life until they get it right. Truly believe that, no question. I also put Freya. I don't know Freya very well, but I looked her up, and some people in a Reddit chat actually were saying, you know what, Freya is really good for self-care, and self-care is really important when you're dealing with discrimination to help you hold your own composure. So I'm not familiar with Freya that much, but I know Freya represents love, beauty, sex, war, and Cider, which is seeing magic, or Scyther. I can't remember how to say it. And also potentially associated with the German deity Frigg. She's known as the Giver, the Lady of the Slain, and the Shaker. And many speak to her experience in self-care. There was, like I said, a Reddit, and it was great. It had so much really cool stuff about using or working with Freya to engage in self-care, protection, and magic, of seeing how to navigate things. So somebody who's more smart about Freya would love to hear. Oh, there you go. Kicking in the ass, yeah, and kicking you in your own ass when you need something. Also, I don't want to skip, and I'm sorry, I'm having lots of work calls coming here. So yeah, sorry. Work is, of course, they're going to pick this 1 hour where I'm trying to do something, right? And everything I do at work is time sensitive, so I have until 11:45 to do what I need to do. So I'm gonna have to hop off here in about 10 minutes. Rook's gonna take over. Kelvin, I've never heard of sapiosexual. I'd have to Google that, to be honest. But whatever it is, it's yours and we support it. I can tell you that. I wanted to, I'm gonna run out of time, but I wanted to share these two resources with you guys if you're not familiar with them. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I'm gonna hand this over to Rook. I don't know if you can hear, but my phones are blowing up. I've gotta switch over here. But anyway, hopefully you want to see a black screen with us in the bottom corner, but then you should see the Wild Hunt pop up. Just let me know that that has happened. Oh, I like that, Dragon. So that's very intriguing. I'm gonna have to look that up. Awesome. So most of you probably already know about the Wild Hunt, but the Wild Hunt is a pretty good place to go to get information from. It's wildhunt.org. Lots of culture. They give you a lot of authors will tell you stuff. It's got a neat little thing with the moon on it if you want to track the moon and how and why it looks the way it does. It's pretty cool. Pagan Community Notes is pretty cool. It tells you about what's just going on around the world, and you can actually write stuff into them, and they'll consider posting and sharing. The article that I read today was Rooted in the Storm, Why Pagan Paths Matter More Than Ever. This was a pretty good story, and then As the Protests Rage. So recommend reading these for some current events. The other one is the Pagan Project. So the Pagan Project, I'm not 100% sure right now. I think that they're kind of underwater, meaning they haven't posted in a while, but they do have a group that still runs. And you can get in here. There's lots of information up here. There's Introduction to Paganism, some articles that are pretty cool. There was an Ethics, which is the one you see, that I pulled up for today's discussion. But they also have a Discord. So if you go in, I don't know where it is, probably join the movement, but somewhere in here or go to the homepage, you'll find a Discord, which I joined. And it's not very active, so I'm hoping we can get some people in there and make it active a little bit, but it seems pretty neat and pretty well laid out. So I'll recommend that. But yeah, so that is thepaganproject.org. I sent them a couple of messages today to kind of see, are you guys still updating? Do you need some help? Is there something, our community can do to kind of maybe, update things if you want, that kind of thing? Or just send stuff in articles. So we'll see how they respond, but the Discord is pretty cool. Highly recommend that. And then of course there's Patheos, which I do use Patheos sometimes. Not my favorite place in the world. They get a little out there on some things and all that, but yeah, so I just wanted to kind of share that with you. Rook, I'm going to transition this to TarotCast.
All right.
Because I've got to go hop on this call in 5 minutes.
Okay.
They moved up to 11 because I have a reporting to do.
Oh,
I have to
gotcha.
do a digital report.
Okie dokie. So I don't know how to do the list, but I can try to just look in the chat and see who's doing
I'm
what.
gonna come in here. I'm gonna close this down to make some space. So we're gonna move to tarot. You guys, let us know if you want to read, and we'll pull you some cards.
Oh, my shit.
I'll make the list for you up here.
Okay, we'll just do some stuff here. I don't know why this is stuff.
James has surgery set, so is it going to go well for a left hip replacement? Glad you got it set. I know we did some read on that on how the setting would go. Hopefully it was smoother than the cards read, because I don't wish that trouble on anybody. That can be a pain in the ass. So we've got James, Ziggy, and Dragon so far. Dragon.
What am I dropping? What am I dropping?
I hate to hear that, because I just wish it, those things should be easy. All right, so I've got your first three, which is James, who has a question, and Ziggy and Dragon. Sorry guys, it was great chatting with you. But like I said, work decided to hail me at the wrong time.
Well, the good thing is that oh, sorry, I did not mean to put my coffee right there. There's no good.
Let me move my drink too.
No good place to. This won't time out on me.
I'm gonna put my drink right here, so it blocks that light from the window. And basically, you can put anything in this area here. And you
Okay.
should see it.
Oh, I don't want to put my. Yeah.
All right. Love you guys. Oh, Lord mercy.
Oh. All right. So let me see. Sorry, guys. Sorry, my dad's not doing real well, so I just had to check. All right, surgery set. Will it go well? Well, I am so glad that it is set. I just need a little bit of incense going. I have to have my way here. So one moment. I'm gonna get this going. It'll take me 30 seconds. Oh no, James. Okay. All right. Oh, I see it now. All right, guys. Here we go. This will do lovely. Incense doesn't want light. Oh. Ooh. Coffee. All right. All right, James. Let's see. Oh, Mystic was making fun of me how I shuffle like that and don't do the normal way. It's because I always get them turned around when I do it this way. So we're gonna do it. Then I bend them. I have short little hands and short fingers. Oh, I'm just reading your comment, James. For this Wednesday. Smoothly. All right, so All right, James. So I pulled, I don't know if you can see it, the Tower. So for me, I see that this change, this, whether it's lifestyle, activity level, things are going to really, really change for you. This is obviously something that's needed, a needed procedure and surgery, but it's going to require a complete, change in routine, mindset, and with that, reset. It'll be successful if you follow, and do what is recommended, what the doctor says. There's a reason I think that the surgery was scheduled to what's to me seems quickly, which is a good thing because it's important. So definitely it'll be successful, but for it to be, you've of course got to adapt and do things a little bit differently, at least while you're healing from it. So good signs here, good things. And least of all, or not to mention, is the fact that it came about to be scheduled so quickly. So, and I know you're aware of like changes and stuff that need to be made. So that's good. I want to send you, if you're okay with it, some positive energy this week, especially before Wednesday, if you're all right with it. Just that it goes smooth and to have no anxiety and for you to be just at ease for the procedure. It's going to be great. Going to be good. All right. And Ziggy is general. Ryan Women's last year. Okay. Well, that's good. So you've been through that. You know the process. You know how your body responds. So just be confident that you're going to do everything you need to for it to be successful. And the doctors, the surgeons, they're adept and knowledgeable, and they will be guided through by the universe, and it will be awesome. So I would not even be anxious about that. Okay. Ziggy, what's Miss Ziggy doing? I need to go check out some of your videos again, Ziggy. All right. Look, before Mystic watches this back and laughs because I'm not shuffling the way that he thinks I should be shuffling. All right. I really like this deck, actually, this Incromancy deck that Mystic actually gifted to me. A whole bunch of tattoo artists that get together every year or two and submit their drawings for the cards. It's really nice. They're all different. That's a cool thing. All right. I can already tell that I'm bending these cards more one way. Oh, that's not it. Yeah. All right. One final. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Okay, so for Miss Ziggy, I pulled, oh, this is too close, the Queen of Swords. I like the queens, I like the aces. So what have you got a big project coming up, either with work, or personally, that you're thinking about? And it doesn't seem to be a matter of, yeah, should I go with this idea or this thought process? It's, oh yeah, I got it. The ladies here is a little guarded. So it's just, to me, it's knowing that if there's something, if you have a question or feel like someone's questioning you on an idea, you got your sword, you got it, you know what it is, you're the adept person here and knowledgeable. And it's just a reminder to trust in yourself and your intuition, that you got this. So I don't know if there's a project coming up or something that's been, you're questioning yourself or feel like somebody's been questioning your mind, and it's just to put it at rest this week. You got it. You know it. you're the HBIC. I hope that resonates. Can you see it there? She's pretty. I really love the aces. Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords. Good stuff. All right. Don't know if that resonates, but hopefully if something comes up this week, you just remember that you know what you're doing, and don't question yourself. And don't let other people question you either. Alrighty, and this dragon. I think I've done something with this setup. Yeah, you are welcome. Are any of y'all like very close to where all that stuff happened in Minnesota yesterday with the crazy shootings? Just crazy. All right, Miss Dragon. These are newer cards, so I'm trying to. That's why I was shuffling throughout just to get them good and mixed up. All right, Miss Dragon. Okay, here we go. Oh, sorry, is this timing out? All right, so I pulled the 8 of Wands, which I get made fun of all the time by Mystic for what I how I pronounce that. All right, so things are kind of coming at you this week. Something, you've got a project, a passionate thing that you're coming on, and it is up to you to ensure that you're successful. This pretty Pegasus, or this horse, has got all these little arrows aimed at her or him, and he's still upright on his legs. So it's really about, the work and the energy that you're putting into it. You are going to be successful, and it could be like a spiritual thing. It could be a mundane or a work project around the house. It's all up to you, and if you've put the work in and you guide yourself, this is going to be successful. I like those wands, wands. So she's cute. Yeah, sorry, I can't judge how close I am putting it back here. I do want to start pulling like little daily cards on YouTube and stuff. All right, everybody. Well, I know Mystic has to work. Did I miss anybody? Just one last check. I don't want to abruptly leave. I want to do one thing. Okay. Oh, I can't even see it. All right. If not, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. As always, take care of yourselves. Have a rest great of the day. And from the north, Widdershins, to the east, undoing the circle that is cast, may it be open but unbroken. Have a wonderful Sunday, everybody. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you around on Discord, YouTube, and online. Take care.